here. Annabel Croft, alongside myself, Pete Rogers, once again. What did you make of yesterday's action, first of all?
Well, I thought it was terrific, actually, and as you just mentioned when we started the day, it was very overcast, it was not very sunny, but it certainly didn't stop the tennis igniting, and I think the start of Grand Slams are always exciting, Pete, aren't they? I think, as we mentioned before, there's always a few nerves, there's, it's not easy for the top players to come out and play their best tennis, but actually a lot of them, there weren't too many upsets.
That's what I was just about to say, there weren't too many upsets, so looking at the order of play today on Rod Laver, do you think there will be any upsets on day two, on this court?
I don't actually, no. I think, I think looking at the names here, well, we're going to be excited to see Muguruza step out onto this court shortly. He's got a great record here at the Australian Open. Obviously hasn't won it, but she's certainly come pretty close, hasn't she? Looking forward to seeing Medvedev in action. I thought he was terrific last year. And Sabalenka and Tsitsipas, I don't see any potential upsets there.
But as you say, Muguruza up next.
This is the first slam of the year. It's a slam that I played well. I feel a lot of emotions when I stepped into the Rod Laver court because I was very close to having this Grand Slam in my bucket list, if that makes sense. And
it's quite exciting.
I guess I'll have to try as many times as I can. But I'm excited. You've seen the certainty that I can do it.
Yeah, Garbiñe Muguruza, who's been in some terrific form at the back end of last year, of course winning the WTA finals, becoming the first Spaniard to do that. And there's a fairly good correlation from players winning the WTA finals and then going on to win the Australian Open at the start the following year. Do you make him one of the favourites here, having been a former finalist?
Well, I certainly think after the year she had last year, she really got herself together, didn't she? What a season, and back inside, back up at number 3, first time she's done that since July of 2018, and that was a big result, winning that WTA finals. She had a terrific week there, and then last week, reaching the quarters in Sydney, she's had a couple of matches under her belt coming into this Australian Open. Apparently when she lost to Capetina, I didn't see the match, Pete, but was a little bit passive in that match. I tend to think of her as a real aggressive ball striker who comes out and plays her game and takes her game to her opponent. So it was interesting to hear, it was actually Naomi Chadley who told me that she'd been a little bit passive in that match. I think she commentated on it. But we'll have to see how she steps out. And I think there was a lot of unforced errors in that match, as well, 40 of them. So, I wonder how much of a hangover there is from that coming into this. But maybe not. Maybe slightly different conditions in Sydney to coming here in Melbourne.
Yeah, she'll be feeling good either way. Loves playing here in Australia, as we said, former finalist in 2020, quarter-finalist in 2017. She reached down 16 on 4 separate occasions, including last year, where she had 2 match points against Naomi Osaka, before obviously losing those match points, and Osaka went on to pick up her 4th Grand Slam title. There is Clara Burel, though, who's leading the charge here, 77 in the world. The rankings a fair amount, because at the back end of it, the previous year was ranked 235 in the world. A confident player, very talented junior, was junior world number 1, finalist here in the juniors as well. And there'll be a few nerves stepping out onto one of tennis's best stages, the Rod Laver Arena, to get day 2 underway. Never beaten a top 10 player before. Hasn't played too many of them in truth. So we'll feel that this is a free shot for the French player. Reached her first WTA final last year in Lausanne. Taking on, though, the 2-time Grand Slam champion that is Garbiñe Muguruza. After a couple of years where it looked like she'd fallen away from the top end of the game, now very much back right at the summit. World number 3, and having won the WTA finals at the back end of last year, will fancy another shot at a Grand Slam title, of course. Runner-up here in 2020. What will be her goals for this match, Annabel?
I think to come out of the blocks and quickly and play her game and to really put the youngster in her place. I mean, she has way more experience than Clara Burel, who's only 20, but then, from what we understand, Clara's quite a feisty character, a real competitor, has a lot of self-belief. side and really be positive and not give away too many unforced errors at the start of this match.
We'll take a photo facing the man here. Just over here, the call out. Fantastic. Okay, thank you, Sam. Facing back this way. All right, so first of all, of course, using the Hawkeye Live. For the towels, on this side red, this side blue. We have the toilet break, 3 minutes in the toilet facility. The time stops when you start walking back to court. Let me know if you're changing clothes, you get an extra 2 minutes. Any questions? No? Sam, who would you like to ask? Clara, we have ANZ or we have Margaret? Margaret? We have ANZ or Margaret? ANZ. Okay, go for it, Sam. ANZ is the call. And it's Margaret on this side. Received. Perfect. Thanks very much. Great job, Sam. So that was Gavin Muguruza winning the toss, but already maybe a little boost for Clara Burrell. Little ball boy asked, who would you like to ask? She's got the two-time Grand Slam champion, former world number one, world number 3 at the moment, Gavin Muguruza on one side, but he went with the 20-year-old French woman. So that's going to give her a lift, isn't it?
I would think so, and hopefully Garbina Muguruza didn't hear what he was saying. But interesting that she chose to receive there. So, wants to come out and swing a couple at the return to serve and see if she can get an early break and stamp her authority that way. I always find it fascinating, the psychology that goes into that decision, because I think it is a big decision what you do. Huge decision. And one event recently where all the players were just opting to sort of defer. So when you choose what you want to do, and I thought, wow, what's going on there? Actually, it was in the doubles at the ATP finals in Turin. A lot of the doubles players were just not choosing either way. It was like, wait, we're not worried. You choose what you want to do. I thought, I've never seen that or heard that before. It was happening all week.
What are your thoughts with regards to, because, at the US Open, we often interview the players before they come out on court. They don't give anything away. But in cricket, when the toss is won, you interview the captain. You say, well, why have you gone to bat and whatnot? So what about an interview after the toss? As in, why have you decided to receive? Or are you against that generally?
Well, you know what, Pete? I'm all for speeding up things. And I think we're trying to speed up the game as much as, but I'm also getting rid of these knock-ups. I mean, I almost prefer it if they could warm up on the court outside and then walk straight into the arena and do the coin toss and start. But, I don't know if that's ever going to happen. So I think an interview after the coin toss might just lengthen it a little bit.
I just thought I'd put it out there.
Yeah, it's a
For
good
you to
idea.
debate and discussion. As for Garbina Muguruza, though, well, had a happy hunting ground here. This is actually her 10th year of playing the Australian Open. Never lost in the first round before, but there have been upsets in the past at Grand Slam level. Just how confident, though, do you think she will be feeling right now after that win in Guadalajara?
Well, you'd have to think very confident, and I remember interviewing Sam Simic, her ex-coach, a while back, and I always remember him saying, Garbina Muguruza, every time she steps on the court, she believes in herself. And even if she has the odd bad loss, she's very quick to put it behind her, but she has so much self-confidence and self-belief, and I thought that was really fascinating. It gave a good insight into, where her character is in terms of her tennis on the court. And she is a very proud player, isn't she? She walks tall, she's very statuesque, she has a presence on the court, and she's very sort of Sharapova-like in terms of how she controls the tempo of the match and likes to play it on her turn.
Well, Sharapova-like how she's off the court, well, that's sort of ice queen demeanour. Quarterfinals for Sydney, as preparations for this one, lost to Katakina in the last day of that event.
It's when he was in store, the 21st.
That's the Clara Burrell. Well, we're saying 77 in the world now, and looking to try and win her first round match at the Australian Open. Was a player who reached the third round of the French Open back in 2020, one of the youngest players to do that in some time. Had wrist surgery in 2019. But as we were saying, very strong junior career, 2 Grand Slam junior finals. And I suppose when you play on a court like this, first time on Rod Laver for her, that's got to count for something, isn't it? She has played some big matches in some big arenas.
Yeah, definitely. I think it makes a huge difference. We were saying that yesterday, weren't we, with the players out here when they come onto this court. It's such a huge arena. You can see the kind of scale and the career then makes that step up, you've got to get that balance right in terms of the scheduling of pushing yourself up, but also playing down and getting the
The
match in.
first match of day 2 is about to begin. Here we go then.
Well, we didn't really have any big upsets yesterday. What will day 2 bring? Can Clara Burrell spring the biggest surprise of the tournament so far? She looks to try and take down the third seed, Garbiñe Muguruza. And it will be the French 20-year-old to get this one underway. I'll turn to Sophie Aniak before this match begun. You don't know a lot about French tennis. So it was a good first serve that Burrell had.
Yes.
One she did say was that the
That's
second
the
serve
thing.
is a slight weakness, and she was expecting Muguruza to be very aggressive off that return. And as you were saying, Annabelle, Muguruza in the last match was quite passive.
Yeah, that was quite a passive point right there, wasn't it? Just a little tentative.
Yes, the best.
So far, Sophie Aniak pretty accurate. First serve doing the damage, second serve a little in and out, as we see Thierry Campion. Been a coach for a fair while now.
Yes, perfect. From perfectly.
Well, not a lot on that backhand. You could see a little bit tentative from
Oh, yes.
Muguruza, that ball landing mid-court.
I can see you. Baby. Okay.
Well, one of the really strong parts of Muguruza's game is the return of serve, where she likes to step in, takes it extremely early, particularly off that backhand. She really likes that side. And look to do a lot of damage with it today.
Perfect. Yes, perfect.
Nice aggressive return, but unable to back it up. A bit
Perfect.
of a scrappy start from the wild number 3. Couple of misses in the game. Will settle Burrell in. She's got the first game on the board.
Yeah, it looks very
Yes,
tense.
perfect
There's
first
a little
serve by
bit
her.
of tension running through the shoulders of Muguruza.
She's really good for when she took
Chosen to receive
the
serve.
chances. She had a lot of chances when she took them. So well done. She took the first set. Perfect.
Quickly settle the nerves herself and really feel like she can.
She really did well to deserve to take that set.
Say it yesterday, didn't we? After that first match we watched on the Rod Laver Arena, we felt it was quite a slow call. I mean, sometimes, as we said, you can watch players and they'll make it
Yes,
look
and
quick.
she really deserves to win that set. So good for her.
Well
Well done.
Yeah, that's something that we will have to keep an eye on. Something that we do know, Verona's got good hands.
Yeah, we're on
To
to
try and
number
mix
2
things up a
now.
little bit.
So well done.
Try and get Muguruza out of a rhythm. Sometimes not able to do that if it's a quick court. Verona's also had some experience of winning in Melbourne, qualified for this tournament last year, albeit lost in the first round to Van Bank.
Yeah, she had an amazing season, really, didn't she? Starting at 238 in the world. And, now here at 77. That is a massive leap in 1 year. In the draw, right. That's a bit loose. You see how that ball left the strings very quickly. Really get hold of it. And not a lot of spin on it either. Very hushed, quiet.
What's the matter?
Sort of feeling around this at the moment.
To be fair, I actually like the way she's going up. It's just giving it all I got, and that's really inspiring to win her set. So another one. It's 1-1.
Muguruza able to
After
secure
set
her
number
first
2.
service game. And I just wonder whether sort of eerie feeling, what that must feel like for Burrell, because this is
Oh,
such a big
4-1
match for
now.
her. And I would have thought in her mind, thinking, right, getting out to Rod Laver Arena.
But as I think we would do.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? It's almost the same as what my German players on players playing with no fans. It was sort of eerie, wasn't it? The silence. And then everything else around the court, all the sounds get heightened, don't they? Magnified. But maybe for her, if there were going to be huge nerves going out into a packed arena, then it's not going to be quite like that.
They've got Muguruza on the stretch, able to back it up.